And we are back once again, only on it is After Hours, only on the After Hours YouTube channel. Joining me here on the line, I give you one of the top content creators in the business, a woman who a lot of people want to work with, a lot of people want to have some fun with. Well, she is a mother, a wife, and also a businesswoman, all wrapped in one little package. I give you this sexy, the gorgeous, and very intellectual. I give you it's Miss Jane Droa. So Jane, let's start off here with how'd you get involved in this in the first place? What made you decide to become, hop on the bad foot and do the good thing, as they say?
So, I've been married for about 8 years, and about 4 years into our marriage, my husband, was, like, hinting at a few things, and I wasn't really catching on, and finally, he just came right out and was like, "Would you ever let, me watch someone else fuck you?" And I was like, I don't know." Like, I thought, like, he was just trying to, like, try to trap me or, like, catch me into being like, "Yeah, I wanna fuck someone else." And so I was kinda, like, hesitant at first, and then, later on that evening, he had downloaded Tinder on my phone, and was like, "Have fun, just try it out." And so we started doing, like, the hot wife swinging thing and, like, recording our experiences, but just for us to, like, rewatch later. And then eventually one day I was like, probably about a year into doing the hot wife stuff, I was like, we should try to, put it on Pornhub and see what happens. And we did. And it, took off. And I did not expect it at all. But yeah, that's how.
So what is it like when you're now getting like porn stars calling you going, "Hey, we'd love to collaborate with you. Hey, we'd love to work with you. Hey, we want to shoot with you." And these are people that you've watched do this, and now all of a sudden they're calling you going, "Hey, we want to shoot with you."
It's wild. Cause yeah, it's definitely a different experience. Cause like in the beginning, I was filming with, pretty much like stuff and would just let me record. And then like you go into the content creating side of it and people are like super creative and they have a vision and there's acting involved and it's like it's the same but it's totally different. But I enjoy definitely the content creating side of it for sure.
So what do you like compared to what the fans like? Because that's a whole because right now you have your many vids, you have your OnlyFans. They want to see something. You like something different. So what is it like that you like done, and what is it the fans like seeing?
Like what do I see, like what do I like to do versus what they like?
Yes.
um I don't know. I'd really like my whole life I've been like super into lesbian porn and just like that kind of thing. So I definitely I guess like that's probably like my niche versus like what I still really enjoy what I do, but like whenever I go down to search something and like get off, it's usually girl on girl stuff. And that doesn't sell as well for me. Like the threesomes do, but just strictly like me and one other girl. No, not really.
So for you, how much of what you do you actually do on the fly, and how much work do you put into like script, getting the people together, getting things organized, camera work, like how much work goes into actually like one clip for you?
A lot of work goes into it. Usually, I don't like whenever we film, it's not really we don't usually do script. It's really just like go with the flow, like gonzo type thing. Um, but still, even with that being said, it's still a lot of work. You have to pick the person and screen them. They have to get tested. I have to get tested, and then agree on a date and time. Kind of go over like what their boundaries are, what my boundaries are, and then get there and meet up. And sometimes like I said, like in the swinger thing, like they're not content creators, so they're not used to either being recorded or like sometimes it's their first time doing something like this, so I feel like I have to tread really lightly sometimes and like really baby it, but it usually goes really well and I enjoy it. It does, yeah. Yeah, everything's a lot of hard work though, but it's worth the hard work.
So all right, so give me some people you've enjoyed working with the most. So give me like
Ooh.
like 4 or 5 people that you've loved working with, not because it was just fun, but because they actually sat down and helped teach you like certain things, how to do this better, how to do that better. Like, give me some people
I'd
who
say, like,
actually
some of the people that I've learned, like, the most from in the industry is probably Tokyo Lee and Nine Block, her partner, and then, like, Jay Playhard and his, partner PT. I really enjoyed working with them and learned a lot from them. Um, and Julie Ginger also, I love her. She's a great, like, great person. She's super sweet, super helpful. I loved working with her. Man, there's so many, but I would say probably right there, those 5 people really, taught me a lot and helped me a lot and made me really comfortable, and yeah, definitely love those people.
what's the plan for the rest of the year? Because I'm guessing you're looking at now going, okay, I want to start traveling, whether it's Exotica Miami, Exotica New Jersey, AVN, XRCO. Like for you, what's the plan in terms of legitimately traveling and getting more stuff?
Well, like, before I went the first time I traveled, like, throughout my whole career was going to Exotica, New Jersey back in October, and so that was wild, and then I went to Vegas for AVN this January, and before that, I had never, like, traveled at all. But I definitely wanna I don't know if I'll do Exotica Chicago in April, I kinda want to, but it's really close to my birthday. But if not, I definitely wanna do the New Jersey one again, I really enjoyed the Exotica New Jersey. As far as, like, collaborating and working and, like, traveling to work with people, it's usually easier for them to come out here, so if I can get them to come here, that's perfect, but if not, if I can get, like, a good, like, couple collabs that I think it would make worth going out somewhere, I wouldn't mind doing that. But as right now, I don't really have any, like, for sure plans to go anywhere. I'd love to go back out to Vegas too. There's a lot of good people to work with out there, and the energy is just really cool.
How tough is it sometimes doing all this when you gotta get tested and you gotta get swabs, you gotta do all this? And I'm guessing you have a job, a regular job, like some a lot of us do. But how tough is it, affording the test and making sure, like, okay, I have X amount of shoots lined up, X amount of content, and oh, by the way, I'm not gonna get the money right away, but this is a good investment for the long term.
Yeah, definitely when we first started doing this, we went into debt because, having to like get shooting locations and pay for the testing and stuff like that, like it accumulates, especially if you're working really frequently. But now, fortunately, I'm fortunate enough to make enough to where I don't really have to stress about that anymore. So I don't have to but it is still really costly and it's super expensive. But yeah, what was the question again?
Like, how do you balance the money so that it's never one of those, choices where it's like content trade, I gotta pay the bills. Content trade, I got car payment. Like, how do you manage
Oh,
it
yeah, I
so
got you.
that
Okay, yeah, yeah. So fortunately, I mean, I'm able, and my husband works as well. So fortunately, I have 2 incomes, like, well, 3 technically. So we have 3 incomes coming in versus it just being like, being a solo creator. So I'm lucky in that aspect because his income helps, and then what I make doing, content creating. Once again, I'm fortunate enough to where it's a good amount. So, but in the beginning, it was definitely really fucking hard and really stressful, and but now it's a little bit more lax, and I kind of like time it out now. Like now, I kind of get the flow of it, and I'm like, I'm only going to shoot this X amount, this, and stuff like that.
for you, and especially as I said, you have your husband, so that's a little bit easier because you don't have to worry about certain things. But how should people approach you when they're collaborating? Because it's a tough thing. You're getting to have your way with a beautiful, gorgeous, busty brunette who most men drool over, and yet still a business. So how do you prefer people, approach you and handle you when they're or when they're shooting content, they're doing all this stuff? Like, what I guess are the guidelines?
I like at the beginning when someone approaches me, like even through a message, I like, when they're just like, hey, I'm so and so. I like when they have references of like who they've shot with and like, people I can reach out to. That's like really helpful, and like I like that a lot. And then once we get past that and like we're like meeting in person, just really like, just I guess the energy. I know that's weird, like just the vibe, like, as long as their energy is really good and like they seem into me and they're not like real stand one to like, act like they want to be there, like enjoy, like, they're happy to be here and happy to film. And like, some people's attitudes in the past, very rarely, they're just kind of like, I don't care to be here. I'm ready to get this over with, like, so as long as like, the energy is good and they're just really into me, I guess. I like that.
Who do you want to work with? Give me some people that you're dying to work with in the next, let's say, year to 15 months. Like, is there anybody that you're looking at going, I really want to work with this woman?
Yeah, probably people that are out of my league for sure. I
You
don't know.
never
I'd
know. Like,
say
give me
like
some
Jack
people.
Slayer. Jack Slayer, that would be really awesome. Um, Isaiah Maxwell. Like I said, people that are probably like way out of my league. And I'm really bad thinking off the top of my head. I
Like,
like
what women
Pressure
do you
the
want to work
Entertainer
with?
a lot.
So, all right. So here's a better question because fans always want to know this. What do you like done to you? Because now you get to, as you said, whenever you're doing a scene, you get to tell guys like, all right, this is what I do not like. This is what I do like. Same with girls. So what do you like done to you?
Love foreplay. I love getting ate out and fingered at the exact same time. That is my great. Just real passionate kissing and like touching, just like, real intimate. Like the feelings are just flowing, everything's natural. I really like that. But I don't like anal at all, like ever. Nothing near my butthole. Terrified.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I give you the sexy, the gorgeous, the beautiful. I give you it's Miss Jane Dro. So Jane, before we let you go, where can fans check you out at? Where is the Twitter page, Instagram, the website? Where can fans contact you at?
Twitter is Felonius Jane. Same with my Reddit, Felonius Jane. I think everything's Felonius Jane, even my OnlyFans. So just Felonious Jane or Jane Dro on everything.
Felonius Jane Dro, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, always an honor, pleasure to have you on the show. We come back, a lot more going on here. Only on it's After Hours, only on the After Hours YouTube channel.